in my heart, I still believe is the police shot my son and not the security guard. That is my feelings, right? That is the police himself shot my son and not the security guard, because it was a history. It is a history with my son Rondell Clark and the police officer.
I knew my brother Rondell Clark. He and the same police officer, they have a history. They have past history, right? Only recently there was a big funeral of the East Coast here. The police saw my brother and he said to him, "I gonna fix you," right? We believe, because thinking about it, they're saying the police is chasing. At one time you're hearing they weren't chasing. Another time you're hearing they're chasing. But then a security guard come out of nowhere and decide to shoot somebody that the police is chasing there. Make it make sense.
The officer apparently had previously threatened Rondell, and after Rondell's death, no police report was filed until the family protested. The family alleges an intentional cover-up to protect the police. The question remains, who will hold the Guyana Police Force accountable for the killing of Rondell Clark?
The post-mortem examination of 29-year-old Rondell Clark, who was fatally shot on the East Coast earlier this week, has confirmed that he died from shock and hemorrhage due to a gunshot injury. A piece of metal, believed to be part of a bullet, was found in his body. 4 individuals, including 2 police officers, remain in custody as the investigation continues. Clark's mother, Michelle Clarke, expressed her belief that a police officer, not a security guard, shot her son, citing a history of conflict between the officer and her son. She recounted a previous incident in April where her son was allegedly wrongfully imprisoned following a protest and claimed there had been threats made against him by the same officer. She also criticised the lack of transparency, noting that no family members were allowed to witness the post-mortem and that no senior police officials were present at the hospital when they arrived early in the morning.
Right, because they pick up my son in the month of April when they had the protest for Adriana Young, right? And they place him in prison. My child is never, everybody could talk, you could check the records too. Just check the records and you will know, you will hear from persons that my son is not a menace to society, right? They placed my son in prison, and when my son came out, right, from remand, the police officer, this particular police officer, I'm not acquainted with his name. He said, "You got my son, see him," and said there was some maybe exchange of words. My son said to you put me in prison wrongfully. The man said, "I shot you before I bust your head. Before I bust your head, and I will put the hammer upon you." So when my son got a shot, because as footage show, my son was chased by the police. He was coming home to his home right in Falls. We live at Falls, 2nd Street Falls, where my son was gunned down. We live at the 10th Street. So I believe it's the police officer killed my son.
But now the official police story is collapsing under scrutiny. Here's some of what we know. Police claim that Rondell was shot by a private security guard. The family says that the police chased him on his motorcycle. CCTV footage shows that police were actively chasing Rondell, and residents confirmed that shots were fired by police during the pursuit, with homes hit. And the police initially denied any pursuit was taking place.
Right? But let me take you back to that same night. After we would have, the police would have left, and we already go around and try to ask. We took our pictures, we look at whatever. We came back right at the police station. We were here, and they were saying they have no official report, let us go home, and whatever the case is. Then is when we started a protest outside. They put us out of the compound. We were right in front of the gate here, and we started a little mini protest. Right? When we started protest, then is when the commander came, Mr. Pasram. He came and he briefed us on what he heard about the matter. Apparently, he was the only person who actually had reliable information about the matter, because everybody else, they didn't have anything. He was the only person. And he promised us that he's going to do a thorough investigation. We are still waiting, because it's how many days now? 24 hours has passed, right? And all we are hearing is that we are working on it. There's still an investigation ongoing. We need answers. We need to know what's happening. We don't even know if the police officer in question, if he's under close arrest. We don't know anything. We heard since the night that the security guard is under arrest. That's all. Nothing else. Right? Yesterday I did ask one of the officers who was on the scene yesterday. I did ask him, who's the lead investigator into this matter? And he said he can't give me an answer, right? Because all they're trying to do is to gather evidence, and then they're going to work, right? But we need answers, because the police version of what they're saying does not add up. Well, like the video that we have circulating, when we did question the police officer, ask him if there was a chase, because that's what we heard. Right? If there was a chase, he said no. Right? I also asked, I did ask the commander as well when we were here in front of the station. I asked him, how was the police notified about the matter? How did they learn of this incident? And he said it was a 911 call. Right? Somebody called him, it was a 911 call because there was no ambulance available. They then informed the police, and because of the fact the police was in the vicinity, they went to the scene, right? The same officer would have indicated that he was not there at the time when Rondell was shot, right? So the story is not adding up, because if you've seen, he's saying that there was no chase. He was not there. But then the video that we have, mind you, we have 3 different footages, right? We have one from the Chinese restaurant at 4th Street when they now enter the village. We have one, the other one, a little through the street where the incident happened, and we have one just from the neighbor, right, of where the incident happened. And all 3 of these footages, they're showing that the police was chasing Rondell, right? It's just unfortunate that we don't have a video footage from exactly the home where the incident happened in front there, right? But the story is not adding up, because eyewitnesses, persons are saying, right, that as he banged the street, the police started firing shots, right? And he turned through 4th Street, and then he make a dash back through 2nd Street, right? And the police started firing shots. So listening to the police narrative, right, that's saying they're firing shot, and then there's a security guard that's guarding somebody else's premises. He just came out and decided to shoot, right? But like I said, yesterday I spoke with the owner of that property, and he would have indicated, right, that what he know about the matter, the situation, is that his guard would have fired 2 warning shots in the air, right? So it's a little ticklish here. What we need is a thorough investigation into this shooting incident, the murder of my brother. What we want, whoever is found guilty, they must be held accountable, right? So many times when things happen in this country, we would say justice, we want justice, we want justice, and then we see what happened. A couple morning, persons protest, a couple morning, the police act as though they're working, and then all of a sudden, everything just goes silent. I'm going to say this. This is my brother, right? My little brother. Like I said at the beginning of this video, we are a close-knitted family. We look out for each other. When something happened to one person, all of us feel it, right? This is not a family where this sibling don't talk to this sibling and all of that, right? One mother, one father, right? And if I have to go and empty all that I have to pay for the best lawyer for my brother to get justice, I will do that. I will do that. I will ensure that is done.
You're dealing with a force at the time which has lost significant confidence. So you have to be careful, and people have to be very active in the fight for justice. We can't, while we understand that the police force faces a problem in relation to credibility, in relation to their ability to do investigations impartially and fairly, we have to be careful as to allowing that to not allow us to come to give statements, we have to give statements. And I would say even take a further step. Not only give statements, flash the statements that you give to the police, so that sometimes when we see the file back in court, we can say, yes, that is the file. That is the statement I give. All right. So you have to come out. It's a process that you have to be actively involved in.
Please remember to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and put your comments below. Hit the notification bell for more updates on the latest events happening in the region and around the world. Thank you, and we love you all.